Hello, everyone. My name is Max Millspaugh, and I'm a student ambassador here at SU Denver at the undergraduate admissions office. So hopefully, I'm just gonna teach you guys some stuff about college, and I'm just gonna talk about myself for a bit, and hopefully, you can apply some of the things I'm going to talk about to your own personal life or in your own personal college experience. So let's get right into it. All right, so I just want to talk about my major first and my program of study. So I'm getting a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, and I would like to become a physician assistant in psychiatry, which is more the medical side of psychology. So more of the neuroscience, more of the brain stuff, more of just the medical part of that. I just want to talk really briefly about the difference between a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts, just in college in general. It can apply to really any major you have. So a Bachelor of Science is more, it's pretty actually self-explanatory. It's more of the scientific route versus a Bachelor of Arts, which is the more just not scientific route and maybe more hands-on route. And this applies to any major that has those two options. So if I, for example, choosing to get a Bachelor of Science because I'm going into the scientific side of psychology, but if I wanted to be more of a therapist, I would, or maybe a counselor, something like that, I would get a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. It's a little bit more hands-on, and you have more time to focus on psychology rather than biology, which is a part of my career path. But it all depends on who you are and what kind of specifically what kind of career you'd like to go into. Um, yeah, sounds good. And then I want to talk about psychology labs very quickly. I am the manager of a cognitive psychology laboratory here at CU Denver. I work under one of the professors here at CU Denver in the psychology faculty. And I just got that job just because I needed a part-time job anyways to pay for school. So I looked on Handshake, which is CU Denver's way to find jobs on campus and off campus as well. And I saw a really rad looking job that was titled Research Assistant, Cognitive Psychology Lab. So I joined that. And you can really make it your own little career, and you can do that throughout your years at school. And I really just recommend looking into any kind of lab positions you can get for any program that you're into, not just psychology, biology, or even just not even a scientific one. It's really just about getting hands-on experience and building a connection with a professor that you've grown to know a bit. I would really just give you really good, at least this would have been really good advice for me going to schools. It's helped me a lot. Is that, oh, excuse me, just identify what professors are your favorites or just any professor you've gotten to know a bit in your field of study, and just ask them, just be honest that you'd like to have more experience in your field, and just ask them if they have any research opportunities or any kind of just ways you can get involved with their labs or just anything they can offer you in general. Yeah, I just recommend doing that. And plus, if you need to get a job, anyways, you might as well work in your field and get more experience. So it would look really good on a resume rather than just work at McDonald's or something, because it's more related to your field and it'll look really good. If you go into grad school, and of course, when you if you instead go right into looking for a job right after undergrad, it looks great for both of that. So let's move on here. I also want to talk about my year really quickly. I am something called a fifth year senior. It's technically actually my sixth year in college, but a fifth year senior is like its own special classification. That's because I'm a transfer student. I unfortunately lost a year of credits. I've been to a few schools, and along the way, I've lost a year of credits there. So that can happen. So just make sure if you're transferring here, transferring to any school, you want to make sure that you have a dialogue with that school, and you want to make sure that your classes will transfer successfully. Otherwise, you might have to take another year over, which is okay. It's no rush, really, but just wanted to mention that. Also, I changed my major, which can result in having to take more classes. So, for example, I was pretty much, if I can be quite honest, like one semester away from getting a BA in psychology. Then I realized I didn't want to be a therapist. I wanted to go into psychiatry because I'm a huge biology nerd and I really like the human body. And I would feel bad not going into that. I would feel like I would regret that. So I changed my major, and that just means I have to get a few other prereqs and take 2 more years of college. So that might happen if you ever do change majors. It depends on how far away the new major is from your old major. But definitely don't feel afraid to ever do that. Really just go with your gut and really just don't be afraid to follow the path that you're extremely passionate about. for me, I knew I love biology and I could never not do something biological. So just go for it if you really figure out what you really want to do a little bit down the road. Don't feel pressured to stick to a specific major and just get it done as fast as possible. You might regret it later. So a few more things about me. I just want to talk about why I chose CU Denver. I get that question quite a lot, and I got that question quite a lot, when we weren't having a pandemic and I could see people's faces in person. But I just want to talk about my answers to that question on this video. So one major reason I chose CU Denver is I've always really wanted to live in the Denver area. When I grew up, I always thought Colorado seemed super cool and very naturey, very outdoorsy. And as a naturey, outdoorsy person, I feel like Colorado would have been great, and Denver's been really awesome so far. I do not regret it at all, and I like it here a lot. And another reason that goes right into that, hand in hand, really, is that CU Denver has something called the Western Undergraduate Exchange, which is just a program that gives cheaper tuition to any out-of-state residents that are basically central to west part of the United States. So basically 25 or so, 20 of the states on the western part of the country can get 150% of the tuition. So if you are out of state and you're interested in coming here, it's a really cheap school for that. It's one of like a few schools that are in a Western Undergraduate Exchange called WUI. So if you are out of state, you could look into this school. That's what I did, and I haven't regretted that at all. Now let's just talk about a few things I love about Denver in general. Not necessarily things I like about the campus, because I've talked about that, but just Denver in general, really. One thing is, I kind of want to give one unique response to this. You might not hear this a lot, but I really love reading a lot. It's one of my favorite pastimes to do. And the actual central library of the Denver Public Library, so like a really huge library, the biggest one in Denver in the Denver system, is right 20 minutes from campus by walking, really. So if you like reading and you also are like me and you also like not spending money, you would want to go ahead and just check out the library. It's just one little perk I've had since moving here is that's a good library system, also good public transportation. If we're talking about public services, I guess. But another thing I like about Denver as well is that the people are extremely friendly. I've lived in a few places that aren't like super friendly, and moving here to Denver, it's very easy to open up conversations with people, not just on campus, but just anywhere you are, really. So you're not going to have a hard time, if you're a little bit introverted, you're not going to have a hard time, hopefully, finding people in Denver, because people are super friendly here. And then one last thing I wanted to talk about is the unique weather. It might sound like a weird thing to say, like, oh, the weather, that's maybe you should move somewhere for the weather. But as someone who's from California, born and raised, I've only really experienced sunshine, which is awesome, and I'm a big sun person. But I really like the weather in Denver because not only do you have a lot of those days of sunshine, super warm days in the summer and spring, that you can just go for walks in your neighborhood and stuff and just walk around, really peaceful and nice, tranquil. But during the winter, there's a lot of snow. So this might not apply to a lot of Colorado residents, but if you're coming here out of state, perhaps, I get to experience heat and snow. I get to experience beautiful summer days and really wintry, winter nights and stuff like that. So I've never seen snow before moving here. So I like it a lot for those reasons. So hope this was informative, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and hope to see you at CU Denver if possible. Thanks.